So what percentage would you say he does his stunts and then you say, cut, bring in the stunt guy?
I I give it anywhere from 95 to 99% he does his own.
I'm gonna cut your heart out. Good luck.
Hi, Eddie, nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you, Lope. How you doing?
Good. Well, I mean, who doesn't want to talk to the stunt man that worked with Jason Statham and for a working man? I mean, that guy is still a powerhouse, right? He's the
Oh,
whole time I'm
yeah.
watching the movie, I'm like, that guy doesn't let up.
Nope, he doesn't. He's full of energy.
Now, what's it like working with him? I mean, do you give him direction or does he give you direction? How does that work?
Yeah,
Because he's been,
a little bit of both, honestly. I can tell him what we want, and we perform it, we rehearse it, and then he'll come up with his ideas, and then he'll also have some opinions about like, hey, how about if somebody else comes this way, and then I say, hey, that would work. Let's put a camera here, let's just do it. And so there's a lot of collaboration with Jason and David Ayer and the fight team to create a good action fight.
and do you have this in your back of your mind? Because he has done a lot of action films, so has David Ayer. Do you guys think of like, okay, how else can we do things differently?
You know what? David is always wanting, says, give me something that we don't really see as much.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to come up and give my, my hat with tricks, just to figure out what else I want to come up with. So again, it all depends. Like sometimes we once we see the area where we're going to be filming and see the set, we come up with ideas. Then like, hey, we could use this staircase, we could use this here, we could use this piece of furniture here. So then we come up with something different for him to do some action with it or around it, to say to sell the story of what where he's trying to go.
Okay, speaking of action movies, I just saw another action movie yesterday, and when people are like thrown to the ground, dropped on their head, I was like, ouch. How do you do that in real life? Because I mean, the neck is a very sensitive area. So how do
Very
you,
sensitive.
what does that see? I mean, there's a lot of that in the movie too. So
Well,
how do you shoot that?
well, first of all, you hire professionals, so you just can't
Yeah.
go out there and throw somebody out. They have to learn how to fall. They have to learn how to tuck and roll. They have to know where they're falling onto or against, or a moving object. So all this is a lot of practice. So stunt performer has a lot to do in their, this is their job. So it's basically, they're training every day to get as good as possible, to know that if I'm going to be flipped here, I know where I'm at in the air. So I know when to tuck, I know when to fall, I know how to fall, I know that it's gonna hurt, but I better get up and do it again. So and Jason too, he's like, he moves around so quick that he's also, he should be a professional diver. So he's very
Yeah.
good in the air. He knows where he's at. He knows where the next victim's going to be. He knows where the next punch is going to be. He knows where his next, kick is going to be. So working with Jason made my job a lot easier with the fight team, and he's just nonstop. So to me, that I love that because I love the energy. It just keeps everything going.
So what percentage would you say he does his stunts and then you say, cut, bring in the stunt guy?
I I give it anywhere from 95 to 99% he does his own. Yeah, absolutely. But the stunt double also does a lot of work to get there. So he's the one that's taking all the hits and saying, ah, that would hurt. So he's the one perfecting it, and then all of a sudden, once it's approved, Jason comes in, he starts rehearsing it, and then he starts, he's taking the hits and taking the blunts. But at least we break it down to we know where it's unsafe for him to do this, or he could do this. But with Jason, I don't think he can. There's not one thing he cannot do. He's always wants to, do something. But for insurance reasons in the movie, we don't want
Yeah.
him to. We need to keep on going. Yeah,
I'm sure he's a dream actor.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Eddie, so much for your time and fun career you have there.
Well, thank you, Lupe. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for your time.